A UBC student pursuing a master's degree at the school's Social Justice Institute is now asking for justice of his own. Savoy Williams is speaking out about racism after the school after he was denied access to a building that he had permission to use. And he joins me now. Good morning. Welcome to our program.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
What happened here?
On June 8th, I went onto campus with a letter granting me permission to enter my department building. I went on there with following proper protocol, which is to have a letter from your department explaining why you need access and the safety protocol you'll take as a precautionary measure because of COVID. And so I went, called security dispatch to send an officer to allow me into the building. Upon the security officer coming to the building, I waved him down. I identified myself, saying that I was the student who called him over. And I provided my letter, answered the questions he had, very basic ones, my name, the purpose of me being in there, who my supervisor was, as well as the letter of granting me permission from my supervisor. Mm-hmm. He took the letter, said, "No offense, but anyone could have made this up." I then handed him my student ID. He interrogated the nature of that as well, despite it having an expiry date on the back that says August 31st, 2021. He interrogated the email that the letter came from. He interrogated the number of my supervisor, claiming that I could have anyone impersonate my supervisor when I willingly said I would call them to verify. And it was at that moment I knew this situation was racial profiling and this was not going to end well.
So what were your next steps? What did you do after that?
There was a custodian nearby that was walking, and I knew her from the department. And so I called her over and said, "You know me, can you please verify that you know me? This gentleman's giving me a hard time." She said that she knew me, and the security guard right away started giving her a hard time, asking her for her first and last name, interrogating her, saying that there's been a lot of instances of homelessness where there have been homeless people trying to sleep in our building, and that she is going to be responsible for me when I'm in that building to make sure that I don't do anything. And he still denied me entry into the building.
And you say this is not the first time this has happened to you.
No. In November of 2019, I was in class and we were allowed access to eat the leftover catering from a business conference that took place nearby. My classmates were getting food and I came in a little late to help finish off the catering, and I picked up a plate, and right away one of the staff members who was filling up her own Tupperware, and this was a staff, she had brought a personal Tupperware and was filling it with food to take home, and she said to me, "Did you ask first? Do you have permission to eat this food? Did you ask anybody?" Despite my classmates willingly eating food around me. So I didn't even bother taking any. I put the plate down. I was discouraged. I was disgusted by her line of questioning, despite me being in the same class with everybody else. And when I returned back to the class, I found my entire class with multiple plates of food. And I had been interrogated for just wanting to have one plate.
So we reached out to UBC for comment. I know that you filed a formal complaint. The comment from the university says, "Recent events, including the incident involving UBC graduate student Savoy Williams, have brought to light the pervasiveness of systemic racism, in particular anti-Black racism. When any population on campus does not feel included, respected, and engaged, it impacts their experience and their capacity to change the world." Savoy, final word to you on this. How do you feel about their statement about this? Is it enough?
Words are just that. I would like to see action. To end systemic racism, anti-Black racism, anti-Asian racism, anti-Indigenous racism, what is necessary is the follow-through. I would like to see meaningful purposeful, visible, and continued action. So when UBC puts this stuff into practice, they have made it very visible to the entire UBC community that they want to be held accountable. And now it is us, as the UBC community, it is our responsibility to continue to hold them accountable as they roll out these actions.
Okay, all the best to you, and we appreciate you sharing your story with us.
Thank you very much.